I've been working on the railroad all the live long day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away.
Oh, Miss Carroll, I want to show Mr. Gordon how much you've just taught me.
No, never mind.
Oh, thank you very much. That's very sweet of you.
Please.
I'm very anxious for Mr. Gordon to see this because I think it's the most interesting experiment. Now, how did you say that last step went? Oh, yes.
Doors of land, I don't mean Tangaduka fool a la band, or maybe I'm a Duka Schmertzig Zam. Generic Lupaduka Googie, Woogie, Jungle Boogie, Doors and Boo. I don't mean like a Googa Lewis Karoo, or maybe I'm a Shuka Zulu or Boo. Generic Lupaduka Googie, Woogie, Jungle Boogie. Some guy heard it in the tropics, but he didn't know how to dig that jive. So a Harlem expedition succeeded in this mission. They brought him back alive. Doors of land, I don't mean Tangaduka fool a la band, or maybe I'm a Duka Schmertzig Zam. Generic Lupaduka Googie, Woogie, Jungle Boogie. Doris the Lamb, I don't mean Tangaduka fool a la band, or maybe I'm a Duka Schmertzig Zam. Generic Lupaduka Googie, Woogie, Jungle Boogie, Doris and Boo. I don't mean like a Googa Lewis Karoo, or maybe I'm a Shuka Zulu or Boo. Generic Lupaduka Googie, Woogie, Jungle Boogie. Some guy heard it in the tropics, but he didn't know how to dig that jive. So a Harlem expedition succeeded in its mission. Boy, they brought him back alive. Doris the Lamb, I don't mean Tangaduka fool a la band, or maybe I'm a Duka Schmertzig Zam. Generic Lupaduka Googie, Woogie, Jungle Boogie. Here, 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 here.
Joe is commonly called an electric eel, but actually it isn't an eel at all, but a fish of the carp or catfish family. Now, the eel part of his name may not be correct, but he sure came by the electric part honestly. There are stories of cattle, horses, even human beings being killed by the electric shock of eels just like this. Now, of course, electrical impulses can't be seen. But if we put an electrode at each end of the tank, we can hear the electrical discharge on a loudspeaker. Now, the vital organs of the electric eel are all in the front 10 inches of his body. The rest is pure power plant. And believe it or not, he can generate more than 500 volts. Here we have a bank of 36 neon lamps. We'll connect these to our eel electrodes. Now, of course, the eel is designed to operate in water. His electrical system doesn't function too well in air, but even under these conditions, he should give us enough power to light the lights. For some reason, people seem to find it difficult to believe that a fish could put out a considerable amount of power. Even some of the folks here at the laboratory have been just a little bit skeptical about Joe's electrical prowess. Now, where did that electricity come from? Strange as it may seem, the eel's electric tissue is made up of cells very much like the cells that make up the nerves of our own bodies. These cells are called electroplaques. Actually, the electroplaque is a tiny battery, 1/25 of an inch thick. Now, in a flashlight, there are 3 cells. Each cell generates 1.5 volts. 3 of them in series produce the 4.5 volts necessary for the lamp. The eel's battery produces 1/10 of a volt. 10 of them in series will produce 1 volt. Well, at this rate, it would take 5,000 of these to produce the 500 volts of the eel. An eel like Joe here probably has 250,000 electric cells. Connect them in series, 5,000 of them, and you have the 500 volts. The rest of them are connected in parallel to build up the current capacity. Now, each one of these tiny batteries has an electronic switch controlled by a signal sent along the nerve fiber connected to it. When an eel wants to shock something, it throws hundreds of thousands of switches all at once just by thinking about it. But what to me is even more amazing is that when Joe's battery is run down, he can recharge them, all of them, in just 1,000th of a second. That's quite a power plant, isn't it? The eel's electrical system is composed of 3 main parts. The first is called the large electric organ. This is the source of the eel's main voltage. Now, the function of this organ, called the organ of Hunter, is still somewhat of a mystery, although scientists believe that in some way it works with the large organ in producing the double whammy. This organ, called the bundle of sock, is to me the most wonderful. It has been definitely identified as the source of those mysterious radar pulses. In other words, this is the power plant for the eel's radar transmitter. Now, of course, a radar system must have a receiver also. You notice those pits located in rows along the front part of the eel? The other night I was in New York City talking with Dr. Christopher Coates, director of the New York Zoological Society. Dr. Coates is the world's foremost authority on electric eels. He performed an experiment recently that seems to indicate that those pits are a definite part of the eel's radar receiving system. Now, if Joe is willing to cooperate, we can perform a similar experiment here. The problem is to render Joe's radar system temporarily inoperable. Actually, it's his receiver that's not operating. Now, let's think for just a moment about what that means. But this problem, compared to Joe's, is relatively simple. You see, sound travels 1,100 feet per second. But Joe's radar pulses travel at the speed of light, 186,000 miles per second. This means that an electric eel's radar system must be able to interpret time difference that is less than 1/1000th of a second. This is so amazing as to be almost beyond belief. Yes, Joe, you're quite a fellow.
Other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. But when I woke, dear, I was mistaken, and I hung my head and cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.